Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our first webinar of 2019. Today we are looking at what's new for Eurail. So my name is Nikki, and I'm here in Melbourne doing the webinar today. So we're just going to get straight into it. So the first thing I did want to touch on is just the brand change. So you may have seen some emails come through, or you may have already seen the pop-up on the website, but Rail Plus has now integrated our branding into the parent company Rail Europe. The most important thing to know about this is that it is business as usual. So the branding has changed, or the logo has essentially flipped. However, we are still selling products around the world. We are still selling more than just Europe. So even though we are now called Rail Europe, it's not just Europe that we are offering. We still have Canada and Rocky Mountaineer and Australia and Japan rail passes, and everything you could previously do through the Great Train Journey team. All those products are still there. For now, you have a choice. You can either use the emails at Rail Plus, or you can use the emails at Rail Europe. So that would be your info at Rail Europe, your after sales at Rail Europe, all those same ones. We do have the exact same contact numbers. Your logins are still the same, so you don't need to change anything there. And the rep contacts as well, you can use either the at Rail Europe or at Rail Plus. For the website, for now, you can still use railplus.com.au, or you can use agents.raileurope.com.au. The most important thing, of course, is if you are talking to people, if you do have new staff members coming into the store, just reminding them that Rail Europe does sell more than just Europe. So for today's changes, we are looking at Eurail updates. Every year, Eurail makes some changes to the pass. They tweak their products just to refresh them a little bit. And this year, we've had a lot of big changes. So the first one is that prices have been slashed. So Eurail Global passes are now roughly 37% cheaper, which is great. We all love a good deal. Anything that's cheaper is always better, without reducing any of the service quality. So it's just a reduction in price. There is no longer the saver passes, so if you are traveling solo, you won't be charged anymore. So the ages have been simplified now. You may have known that previously you could get like a youth in second class, but not in first. You could get a senior in first, but not in second. A senior for a global, but not the select. So now they're across the board. So the age categories that we have is the adult. We have senior, which is 60 plus, and that's a 10% discount. We have the youth fares, which are under 28, and then the child fares, which are under 12, and of course the children are still free on the Eurail passes. Those same age rules are also in second class, so it's nice and easy. You don't have to say to your client, oh, you're getting a senior if you want first, but an adult if you're second, none of that. So it's now just very clear and very easy. One thing, just a reminder, is that if you do have children who are under 12, they only travel free with a traveling adult. So you can't attach a free child to a senior or a youth pass. It does have to be an adult pass. But if they are 60 plus, they can still get an adult pass. That's fine. It'll just be a little bit extra to get the free child. Another big change is that the select passes are gone. So the options for Eurail are now single or global. So you've got one and all. The 2, 3, and 4 country options are no longer. If you did issue passes in December last year, they of course are still valid for 11 months. However, you would not be able to issue a select pass in 2019. With, of course, the reduction of price, it does mean that the new prices are somewhat similar to the 3 and the 4 country options anyway. So there's not a huge jump in price because, of course, the prices have come down. With the single country passes, just a reminder that there are still some of those multi-country passes which are still one country. So we've got Benelux, Belgium, Netherlands, and Luxembourg. That is still considered to be one country. And we have Scandinavia, which of course is Finland, Norway, Sweden, and Denmark. That is still a one country pass. So you can purchase a single country Scandinavian pass, get all the travel through those countries, buy the discounted Norway in the nutshell to access the fjords, and that would be still under a one country option. There was a little bit obviously with a gap with the days, so there is a new global pass validity which is 3 days in 1 month. So for the flexi passes, we now have 3, 5, 7 days within a calendar month, and then 10 and 15 days within 2 calendar months. For the continuous options, no changes. They are still 15, 22 days, and 1, 2, and 3 month passes. The Eurail one countries have just made theirs consistent across the board. So all of your one country passes will have 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8 days within 1 month, 6-day being the new validity there, with the exception, of course, of the Eurail France pass, which still offers its 1 to 8 days in 1 month passes. So you can still get that 2-day France pass or a 1-day France pass as well. But for all of the other single countries, they are the day categories. The Eurail has made an interesting change considering Brexit is in the media everywhere at the moment, but not for Eurail. So there are 3 new countries which have been added. Eurail welcomes Great Britain, Lithuania, and Macedonia. So we now cover 31 countries in total. Great Britain, of course, being England, Scotland, and Wales. Ireland, both the Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland, were already on the pass, on the global pass. So that was already on there. That's why it's just not mentioned here. And then, of course, you can now, clients with a Eurail pass don't have to travel via Turkey to get to Greece. They can cut straight through the middle with Macedonia being added on as well. We also have 2 new Eurail one country passes, which are Lithuania and Macedonia. Just remember with the UK as well is that while most of the rail lines are covered under the pass, not all of them are. So if you do have any questions about whether or not your clients will be traveling on any line which is not covered under the Great Britain pass or the global pass in Great Britain, please let the guys in the office know. We are seeing more lines being added on at the moment, but we do also have a full list on the website. 7 p.m. rule has changed, so always a little bit of a confusion with this rule, but basically now the clients will put the day of departure on their pass and will still just use that one travel day. So in the past, the clients had to leave after 7 p.m. and it would count as the day of arrival. We're not doing that anymore. And what we kind of found from feedback is that most people will take a train to get to an overnight train, so they were having to use 2 days on that pass. So if they are taking a train, for example, to get from Venice to Vienna, and then they're taking an overnight train from there, that would still just use that one day, which would be the day of departure. Couple of new carriers onto the list of Eurail product. So we can now use RegioJet and also the Leo Express on the Eurail pass. So these were previously private rail carriers in Czech Republic. So your RegioJet will cover Prague into Bratislava and Vienna, as well as the RegioJet long distance bus services into Krakow. And we can now access Prague into Slovakia with the Leo Express as well. If you ever do need a list of the included carriers or any of the bonuses, they are all on the website. So we did a little quiz last week. You can still do that quiz, and we will have the link on the email that we send out. But we got a couple of answers that we wanted to cover. So just a couple of misconceptions and also just some general feedback when we're out on the road. So the first thing is what constitutes as a travel day. So a lot of people thought that you could only take one train or you had to do a through fare for it to be one travel day on the Eurail pass. This is not the case. Clients can take as many trains as they want between midnight and midnight, and it'll count as one travel day. So if they do want to go from Paris to Basel and then spend 3 hours in Basel and then continue on there to somewhere else in Switzerland, that would still just be the one travel day. This is always something that I do recommend to people when they are looking at their Eurail itinerary, is how they can maximize their travel experience by including stop-offs along the way. One thing just to maybe think about is left luggage storage or luggage facilities. We do, of course, in Switzerland, we have a luggage transfer service, but otherwise they would have to use the lockers or the left luggage facility at the station. I find the most up-to-date way to get information on that, which we do have it on the website, but just maybe Google search it and see, because some of these storages may open or close at different times of the year. The next misconception was Swissini trains. So they're an amazing product. These includes products like your Glacier Express, your Bernina, Gothard, Panorama, Golden Pass, and so on. And a lot of people thought that they were not covered under the Eurail Pass. They are. A couple of years ago, the private line on the Glacier Express was covered under the Eurail Pass. So basically now all the clients need to pay for, if they're doing a Swiss Scenic train, are the seat reservations. We do of course recommend they book those as early as possible, but the actual cost of the ticket is covered. So for example, the Glacier Express, it's about $500 for a full fare ticket for the whole way, plus the seat res. It's actually cheaper to do a 3-day pass. So the Swiss Scenic trains, it's just the seat res. One little thing with that is that the boat, so if they are doing the Gotthard Panorama Express, there is a private boat service from Lucerne to Flüelen that goes across Lake Lucerne. That's only 50% covered under the Eurail Pass. So for clients who are doing more extensive Swiss travel, if they are wanting to include mountaintop trains and museums and buses and boats, a Swiss Pass may be better for them, but the Eurail Pass does cover all the Swiss Scenic trains. The third misconception was the discount that travel agents receive. So a lot of people thought it was 50%. It is actually 75% off rail passes that you guys get as a travel agent for a discount. You can get one pass per year, and both you and your companion do get that 75% off. So it's a huge discount, obviously, in addition to the reduction that Eurail have brought in this year. So a great way to see Europe, but also can be quite a cheap way to see Europe with the discount that you receive. You will, of course, have to pay for seat reservations in addition to this, and we do have a form for the travel agent discount on the website. So we will add in the link to do the questions to test your knowledge, and there is a $100 voucher up for grabs for anyone who completes this. It will end on the 31st, so just make sure you complete it by then. And then, of course, yeah, it's just going to be probably our message this year is that we love Europe, but we love the world. So just a reminder again that Rail Europe does sell more than just Europe, and we will have some exclusive specials coming up over the next couple of weeks, so keep an eye out for those. This is a re-recording, so there are not any questions coming through at the moment. Any questions we got through the original recording, which unfortunately we had some audio issues, will be added on to the email. So feel free to reach out to your rep if you have any questions, if you would like any training, and if you would like to run through these products again. If you do have someone who you think this webinar would be beneficial to, please send it through to them. If you would like to just quickly scan the What's New for 2019 updates, we do have the homepage on the Rail Plus homepage. We do have the PDF there that you can access at any point. So it's just on the right hand side down the bottom of your screen, or you may need to scroll a little bit down to see that. All of the specials will be on our specials page and come through in our weekly specials email. And of course, if you would like Facebook tiles and marketing resources to go with those, they are available in our agent tools on the Google Drive. So they're there anytime you need them. If there is something that you're thinking of that isn't on there, please just reach out to your rep, and it might be something we have on file or something we are able to put together as well. Yeah, so if anyone has any questions about the changes or anything else, do please let us know. Hopefully this will mean with the new Eurail changes, it's just going to simplify the process for you guys. So if you do have clients looking at Europe, if it doesn't fit into a one country pass, then it will be a global. There's no more having to look at 2 in a sector and 3 in a couple of sectors, or 4 countries in a one country pass. It'll just be one or the other. Do, of course, use the multi-city search on the website, which does make it very easy to quickly see whether or not a Eurail pass is going to be cost effective. I think over the last couple of years, I've had a lot of agents tell me that they don't sell any Eurail passes anymore because there's no value in them. And often I see the itineraries that they give into their clients, and sometimes that itinerary would have been cheaper on a Eurail pass. You do, of course, have the Eurostar as part of the Eurail pass. You can incorporate now the UK and the Swiss Scenic trains. So the multi-city search on the website will just help to quickly see whether it's cheaper, or of course the team are always there if you do need them and you do want them to have a look at the comparison for you. Yeah, so hopefully I think that covered everything that we went through on the original. If you have anything that you need to know more info about, please do let us know. Otherwise, I will speak to you guys next month for our next webinar.